is because there's such a conversation about PFAS, and I really want to hear from the FSA what it is, what we are using, what are we, how are we going to adapt to this conversation from the FSA's point of view? Let's talk about that. Let's go there and talk about kind of what is this PFAS and what is the fluid sealing devices and containment devices? What are they using out there?
Charlie, I think I would start with this. What I've seen in my 30 years is, fluid sealing manufacturers have really changed the game for when we talk about climate change and other words too, by keeping things sealed, keeping chemicals inside of containment, keeping from having, oil, major environmental disasters because of the technology changes that has happened in sealing devices. One example, like Phil was mentioned, regarding emissions, the work that our partner companies that are in the Fluid Sealing Association have gone from when I started 30 years ago at 10,000 parts per million, all the way down to 100 and even 50 parts per million. So this type of change has happened through a lot of people's efforts, amazing people that work for the industry in fluid sealing, and has saved a tremendous amount of emissions. I joke, and I think I've mentioned this to Phil. I joke when we had that climate change summit in Edinburgh, they should have had a standing ovation for all of the fluid sealing providers, because one of those lower emission numbers have come from valve sealing technology that a lot of people have put their heart into for creating this new technology. But I digress. That is kind of maybe a little over the top, but it is true. We are, as Rob says, a public good. When it comes to PFAS, there's a lot of things going on with hearing a term that then people just think everything is around it. And what we've been really pushing is that, all PFAS chemicals are not the same. And especially when we start talking about ptfe and fluorocarbons that are used in like O-rings and in sealing device range, especially how much of a success they've been for industry.